order. There is no regrets. Councillor Manzer.
Here.
Councillor Shearer. And who took my paper? Okay. Did I say it right this time?
You did.
All right. Chris Kingston. Coralie Ross. Tyler Pulley. Taylor Robinson. Councillor Ross. Here. Deputy Warden Ross.
Here.
And myself. I'd like us all to pause to seek guidance. And next, I would like, is there any additions or deletions to the agenda? If none, could I have someone to approve the agenda as circulated?
Motion to approve the agenda.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried. The next, is there any disclosures of conflict of interest issues on anything on the agenda tonight?
For the Good Samaritan Church, I'll have to excuse myself.
Okay. I assume that's in Weymouth then.
No, that's in North Range or South Range.
Oh.
But my brother is kind of.
Yeah.
You don't have to say.
No,
I just.
That's one.
Okay.
I don't mind.
Oh, okay. So a conflict of interest has been declared for the minutes by Councillor Manzer. Next is under for presentations and delegations. There is none tonight. The next is the minutes of November the 18th, 2025. Did anyone see any errors or omissions?
Motion to approve the minutes of November 18th, 2025.
Is there a seconder?
Seconded.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried. The next is the CAO report. December the 16th, there's no meeting. December the 23rd, there's no meeting. December the 30th, there's no meeting. And January the 6th is no meeting. We aren't going to know what we look like at each other then.
Until next year.
January the 13th at 5 p.m. we have committee of the whole. January the 20th, there is no meeting. January the 27th at 5 o'clock is council. On February the 3rd is Nova Scotia Public Works at 5 p.m. and at 6 p.m. bylaw and policy. There will be a joint council meeting in January. I was talking to the mayor today, and he said probably towards the latter part of January, but as soon as we want to get that together. The next, under the CAO updates, he has put in the miscellaneous CAO update. Would anyone have any questions for Tyler? If there is nothing, the departmental reports. Director of Finance report. Is there any questions for Coralie? Director of Municipal Services report. Is there any questions for Chris? Under the building department reports, is the building report and we can ask Chris if we have any questions.
Jet fuel. We're out of jet fuel now, so we're not refilling. We're done.
Yeah. I've reached out to all the emergency service providers personally. We've had a no-name on ever since we ran out, and in the coming little while, I'll send it a letterhead letter to them. But everybody who knows,
They should know.
everybody needs to know.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
That's great. Under airport dispatch, is there any other questions? The program coordinators report. Again, we'd ask Chris if we have any questions. The C-Mart Renewable Energy Incorporated report. Again, we'll go through Chris. And the Trails Coordinator report, again, we'll go through Chris. I see there's some grants out there for trails. I assume we've let.
Yeah, one
Candace.
one of our main roles is looking for grants. We get grants every year, so she's always on the lookout. And
Yep.
if we see any, we direct them to her. So she's
Okay.
likely aware of the ones you're seeing.
Because they came through the NSFM and DARC.
Yep.
For the, well, when I say DARC, I mean the provincial.
And so I passed the NSF once more to Chris.
Okay, wonderful, thank you. Then can I have a motion to accept all the CAO reports and departmental reports?
I'll motion to approve all the department reports.
Or a seconder? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried. Can I have a motion to accept the CAO report?
Motion to accept the CAO report.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried. Dangers unsightly report.
So this one.
Sorry. I thought it was Chris.
Yeah, well, I'll let Chris speak to it. I just want to let you guys know that under the MGA, we should be doing this twice a year. We're going to start doing it quarterly just to give you guys an idea of how much work we're currently working on in Dangerous Unsightly.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you have any questions, you can direct them to Chris, but I'll let Chris go through.
So the first half of the report is just basically our procedure. It's pretty standard across most municipalities on how we treat these. Obviously, the administrator, Kathy Barr, has a little bit of discrepancy on how long she lets people sit in a certain stage of the process, whether or not she can see that they're actually moving ahead by themselves, or whether or not they need a little encouragement. We've got 5 ongoing files right now. 2 of them, the cleanups, one in Westport and Plimpton, have been actually ordered. The one in Westport is about 95% done, and the one in Plimpton, they've requested a little bit more time. The 3 demolitions, the one in Weymouth, Centerville, and Conway, are currently under what I would call a verbal order. Kathy has gone and warned them that if they don't proceed, it will have to get council involved. Yeah. That, I guess while we're on camera, that's all the details I can give you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
One question here about the procedure. So there's this point, the administrator investigates the property to determine if it's considered dangerous and so on. What's usually the reaction time to that? Do we have the resources to do that investigation?
So right now, dangerous and unsightly, I guess, are unfortunately not the top priority for our administrator, where the building department is always constantly just full throttle. She gets to these when she can, so sometimes the investigations aren't immediately prompt, and sometimes they do take a little bit of time to go investigate, come back, try to track down the actual landowner and contact them. Sometimes actually just getting in contact with them is time consuming, whether or not they are at a province or even at a country.
Just to add to that, this is one of the reasons, as you're aware, that we're looking at a bylaw enforcement officer position, potentially for next year or the year after. This is one of the roles that they would take on.
Yeah.
So we can be a little more proactive, a little quicker, that sort of thing.
I'll be honest, it always makes me nervous when it's something that might be dangerous. And, then there's only so many hours in a day.
Yeah.
But,
Most of the time, I think they are just unsightly, but maybe when it's dangerous, we need that reaction time.
it's one of those things that it's the administrator who decided it was dangerous too.
Yeah.
Well, you might think it's just unsightly, could be dangerous, or the other way around.
Yeah, that's true.
It's funny. I was talking to some of my neighbors down the road, and I had to comment, why don't you develop that old house? They said, Linda, the only thing there is the walls. No floors, there's no nothing. But it's totally, locked up, and, you would never notice, kept painted. But, yeah.
Keep it up outside.
Well, the family want that house left there. So, but I didn't realize it was all gone inside. So, you just never know. So the next is the business item, the Good Samaritan Community Church tax request. Please note that George has left the room. And they are requesting a tax request.
Exemption, because they're a church.
Yeah, I'm trying to say it right.
Yeah, they had reached out to me because the church in South Range, they're already tax exempt of the church. They have a piece of land beside it they owned, and they've made little tiny homes in the last year or so to help with widows and homeless. They're not charging rent, just power. They've got a few set up already. They're going to make some more, but they didn't realize they would be taxed. They went to PBSC. PBSC said they couldn't do anything. They bounced it back at us, and this is where we are at.
I'm going to ask.
Yeah,
but I don't think we can.
so if this sounds familiar, it's because we just dealt with an identical situation for the Barrett School property. And as I said during that meeting, because housing is not currently one of our responsibilities, it makes it difficult unless we want to make that one of our mandates to give tax breaks in this case. I will say, though, that this group would have an opportunity to apply under our grant program for a similar amount of money as to the taxes they're being charged, which is currently around $500. I think it'll likely go up a little bit with these housing units, but they do have that option. So if we did want to help them, they could just make a grant application request.
And I think that was what we should ask them to do.
So I would make a motion that we write a letter asking them to fill out our grant application in the new year.
No, they can do it now.
Well, yeah, it's supposed to be got money.
$4,000.
That's right.
Yeah, there is money, and I
I
mean,
was thinking we were out to Yeah, no, that's cool. We can do that. So, okay, so I will make a motion that we write a letter, letting them know that they could look into our community grants application, fill out a community grants application.
is there a seconder to them?
I'll second that.
Further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Contrary minded, motion carried. Peter, would you let George know he can come back? Thank you so much.
We're good. We're good. So,
Okay, the next under correspondence, the letter to the mayor's boards and chiefs from Minister McDonald. Does anyone have any comments or questions or concerns? Not really a lot to say.
Good information.
Yeah. Okay, so the other is a letter to Minister McDonald from Spikney Ketiki First Nations. That's not Shubenacadie.
Well, that's how she been acting.
That's how
Yeah, but that isn't.
No,
That's-
it's spinacat or something.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's not pronounced Shubenacadie.
I'm saying.
It's similar, but it's not. That's. Is anyone going to get any comments or questions on their letter?
no roast.
I thought it was a bit strong.
No, I thought it could have been worse.
Oh, it could have been. It could have been.
I feel for them, I really do. Okay, the next is committee reports. And George, would you like, oh no, sorry about that. I apologize. Jumped ahead of myself. Digby Source Water Protection Advisory, Joan.
Have not met.
Fences and Arbitration Committee, Peter.
Haven't met.
Heritage Advisory Committee, George and Joan.
We met December 3rd. The minutes were attached in our document. Mr. Hersey informed the committee that he will be resigning next June, and that the Art Bank requisition notices would go out this month with a deadline of January 31st.
Yeah, I think some of them maybe we already received a couple, I think, but he said the majority of them come in after January 1st. And then we'll have the Art Bank committee will get together. Make selection.
Okay. Regional Emergency Management Advisory Committee. We have not met since the last meeting.
Not till February.
Planning Advisory Committee.
We are meeting next week.
That was easy. The Joint RCMP Advisory Committee. We haven't had a meeting since our last council. Marketing, Levy, and Promotion.
We meet one-on-one.
Oh, okay. We just heard about the Digby Art Bank jury, so
Probably January, early February.
Accessibility Advisory Committee, we have not met. Highway 101 Task Force, we need to change that from inactive to active. And we are receiving letters back, and I would like to have a meeting set up sometime towards the end of January, the 1st of February. Is that too soon?
Well, I would like to it would be nice to have heard back from the majority of people, so I'd have to check to see how many we've heard back from, but hopefully it won't take longer than that. I mean, by January, they should have all come back to us.
Okay. And if not, maybe we can get a hold of them.
And I would assume that would be an afternoon meeting to get most of them here, so.
We really do need them. Digby Community Nova Scotia Health Authority stakeholder is inactive. The Digby and Area Housing Working Group, Councillor Ross.
We met December 3rd. They have a conditional letter of intent from CMHC now, and will receive some pre-development funding that they're going to use to pay some existing expenses. They're tentatively hoping to move ahead with demolition in March or April, but that's not confirmed. They've reached out to the River Phillip Foundation with a $3.2 million request and are meeting with the consultant from that group, Floyd Dykeman, this week. So,
Yeah, it was today. Yeah.
Were you with them?
Yeah, Tom and I went. Nice guy, looked interested in helping them out. He talked to them about how they should seek out a partner, whether it's from one of the municipal units or a private firm, but they should have a partner with some expertise behind them, and that would help them in seeking funding from his group. So I'm sure we'll be talking to them about that.
Okay.
and the next meeting for Digby Area Housing is scheduled for January 15th.
Oh, okay. The next is the Atlantic Mayors Congress. There has been nothing since last June. The Digby Area Recreation Commission. We now have a new member, Ms. Hersey. And could I ask for a thank you letter, or has one already gone to Yuki for her involvement?
I don't think we automatically send those. So.
I would really like one sent to her, where she did an intern for us. So could I have someone make that a motion, please?
I'll make a motion to send Yuki a thank you card from Municipality for her community work there.
So I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded, motion carried. The next, under Digby Area Commission, is Deputy Warden Ross.
I didn't make it that night. I was sick, so I don't. I was at the meeting.
Well, no, we haven't had a meeting.
No,
yet.
we have one
I'm
next
sorry.
week. Yeah,
I
we
was-
have one next week. I couldn't make that meeting.
Okay.
I was it.
No, we had already done that one, but
Yeah.
I was thinking when we had the dinner the other night, that
Oh.
that was, in my head, that was the meeting.
Yeah.
We did,
Yes. we did have
actually,
Christmas.
the chair presented, Cindy O'Neill with a 20-year, service award. So that was done then, and, yeah, our next meeting is next
Week.
Wednesday. Next Wednesday. The Digby Development Agency, known as the Industrial Commission.
Meeting tomorrow.
Oh, you're gonna be busy tomorrow.
Mhm.
Digby Library Committee.
I haven't had the meetings with them since I was appointed. Oh, it's been a year, at least or more. We haven't had any meetings.
Yeah, they've recently sent an email, so they're looking to schedule a meeting soon.
Okay. And, yeah. Okay. The Digby Municipal Fire Association. We met 2 weeks ago or last week? Last week. And I am going to be honest. I did ask them to, I said to them, our year will be nearly up again with Bruce. And I wanted them to send me some emails on how they felt as a coordinator. And I can tell you, I've only heard positive. I will be sending to Tyler, then I'll let Tyler send out after. But it's a big decision to continue a person's job. And, you know, I wanted to hear what they had to say. And I said, I don't want to sit in front of Bruce. I mean, you may think he's the worst thing since cream cheese, or you might think he's the best thing. And, like I said, I'm getting all positive, and I will send them on, or verbal ones after. But at the meeting, they talked about their fundraising efforts. They talked about how many members they have. They discussed, like next year, they're putting in for the 2 phones, and if you know, as needed. They were talking about training, and one of their huge concerns is the fire place to do their training, finding a place, and that was a huge discussion.
Yeah.
They just have concerns because apparently the fire school is sort of be gone. They're not taking courses there anymore. They have to get things ready and prepared, and they said they've lost out on one grant because you know, they had it, but then when they couldn't get a piece of land anywhere yet, they've lost it. If I understood correctly.
180,000. They lost that grant.
No,
Which grant they lost? They didn't say. They just said they've lost the grant.
So that one's still on, but it's conditional on finding a place where we already committed 20. If they have the 20 and the land, then they can apply to the 200 total. It's been a challenge. We'll discuss tomorrow in the DDA, but it's been a challenge, and they were proposing that we retake that discussion to see if we can some space in the industrial park.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the main gist of that meeting. Peter, did you want to add anything?
That's pretty much it.
So the next one is the King's Transit Authority, and we meet this coming next week, next Wednesday actually. Right now, they are trying to keep the buses going, and they are going to be hiring another mechanic, heavy duty, they call him heavy duty mechanic, because they're falling behind because there's too much work for the 2 mechanics, and the supervisor's been doing a lot of the work as well, and it just is not working. Otherwise, Meg is looking at what can we, you know, where people can, you know, for transit huts or whatever you want to call them, looking at where would be better moved, because like the one in the town at the mall has not been moved. So, and I can tell you out at Dalla, they'd like to see one out there.
Mhm.
So it might be where it would be moved. But, yeah, because the bus doesn't come there, so it's no good to have it there.
I noticed the other day, the school wasn't canceled, but the transit was. Is that like are they?
See, sometimes the weather's worse up at Kings.
But wouldn't our bus still run down here?
No, they shut everybody off because of like legalities.
Because it starts winding down through.
Yeah, because of, maybe I wanted to go to Kemple to the hospital. Well, if I get on the bus in Weymouth and I'm stopped in Cornwallis,
I
that's
was just
it.
thinking if our bus was running, at least people can get to town.
But that is why. It's because it's a whole service. Yeah, I already asked. Next is Senior Safety Committee.
Yeah, we had a meeting last Thursday, and nothing out of the ordinary.
I put down like
What's her name?
Dawn.
She did tell us about the amount of seniors that are being kind of taken advantage of by family members when they, when they start with dementia maybe or whatever, and then some of the family members move in, drain the money. It's not noticed until it's too late, right? The money's out, the money's gone, spent or whatever. She said there's a fair number of those going on. What you can do, what you can't do. It's hard to protect yourself against it.
Well, especially if you don't know.
Yeah, until after the fact.
It's probably other family members that realize it.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But she said they were some of the cashiers at Sobeys Superstore or the Ghost Store downtown were being more aware of elderly people coming in and buying packets of
Football cards. If you're in
and
there.
they were, and they had, they were to the point now where they are calling her office if they see much of that going on. Where a couple of years ago they didn't, right? But now they're aware of it. And at least
In the banks, if you go to the bank and get a lot of money, you are questioned.
Yeah.
And if they think it's a scam, you don't get your money.
Which is good,
Well, it is, but then Will was saying he's at the bank.
Yeah.
It's a lot harder to stop it than you think because they have dementia, and at the end of the day, it's their accounts. If you question them and they don't, and they think everything's fine, the abuse keeps going, and that's where he was.
Yeah, well, I know at some other the Royal banks I was told that if they call in the one above them and if they agree, they're not giving the money that day at all because that can be stopped if they think it's fraud.
Yeah.
If you lie well, say, oh no, it's from my son or whatever, they can't stop that. It's scary how many people are being frauded.
Yeah.
So the province wrote us back too about the 3-year funding request that we've been trying to get back, and we received our 1-year funding, and we were told that the senior safety budgets will be sent on a year-to-year basis, and we are to apply to that. But it's also the 9th consecutive year there's been no cost of living applied to it either, so we'll try to get that too. Dawn updated us on that stuff, but the group also was disappointed to learn that the hospitals still use block caller ID for appointments, and statistics are floating around that 28,000 medical appointments are missed last year in Nova Scotia because of no caller ID.
Yeah. The hospitals are, I think they're talking medical centers.
They're talking hospitals, but
that was all changed.
no, they're still called no caller ID. Some do. There are some lines. I do agree. Yes, some lines do, but not all the lines the hospital do, and they're still missing missing because
I will check because I was told all of ours do.
And in the medical center too, in the hospital both?
No, they're different lines.
Yeah, but are they both under the new, you know, showing the caller ID?
I don't know if they do or not. They didn't,
Right.
but I don't know if they do now or not. But the hospitals, yeah, I mean, if I call out, they can't tell who called. They just know Digby General Hospital called, and then they'll call back to the consultant's clinic, or they call to cardiac or X-ray. They call asking who called.
day surgery in Yarmouth doesn't. I know that.
Pardon me?
Still comes up no caller ID day surgery in Yarmouth. So
Yeah, but
that's a lot of missed appointments, right? The surgeons are waiting and you're not coming.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's what was brought up. That was the statistic, but I mean that's the double-edged sword. We're trying to tell our seniors not to pick up on no caller ID because 95% of those calls are scams, and they're missing the 5% that are actual appointments. And you know, I'm not just saying it's not Digby; it's all across the province. If it's Lunenburg, you're waiting for an appointment. They're coming up no caller ID. Some are so. It's one of those things.
like sometimes they leave a message as well.
Yeah.
It's Well, that's good to know. 'Cause like I said, as far as I knew at our place, we were all open, and they said it was because of the change. They've all been asked to hit the line so people know. At one time, it wasn't. They used to, then they closed it. Now they opened it again. So I was sort of glad they did. The next, Tideview Terrace.
Yeah, monthly November meeting. Deborah and that announced or let us know that she would be retiring. I think in the New Year's. It was open. Notice had gone out. There was, applications being accepted. Various groups, internally and externally. Yeah.
Did you have your Christmas dinner that you served the residents
We
yet?
served the residents last week on Thursday. I think I was there on Thursday, and met a couple of folks I hadn't seen for quite a few years. George Carmen and another fellow from high school. Top of George.
It's nice to see people you haven't seen.
Yeah, I've seen it for years. Yeah, it was good. It was held in their little room there right by the main door. And half the residents, or half were in one night, half in one night. Well, Alfie Warner was the other.
Oh, yeah. He's so good.
Yeah.
Okay, under waste check. We have not had a meeting since our last meeting. And our next meeting is not until January. Western Counties Regional Library.
We didn't have any meeting in November. It's meeting on Thursday this week.
Okay. Western Regional Enterprise Network Liaison and Oversight Committee.
We haven't had a meeting.
Digby Area Tourism Association.
The board met November 27th with a Christmas meeting and dinner. Bylaws Committee reported on their progress to date. It was generally felt that the work in 2025 had been a success, and the focus for 2026 is mainly on doing the advertising through Quebec and Ontario. Part of that package will include the U.S., but it's not because we're paying for it, it's because it's part of the package. Planning is going forward in line with the provincial tourism, which is about experiences, and they're looking sort of like for 365 days of the year experience group package kind of deals. And it was also noted actually that Amy and Jess Tudor received awards at the Tourism Nova Scotia Conference for their efforts to elevate Briar Island as a destination, and Stephen Thibault received one for the Digby Pines Resort and Spa. We haven't set a date for our next meeting. I did sit in on a webinar yesterday morning with provincial tourism and data, and the focus of that really was to make many of our innkeepers and that sort of thing aware of grants that might be coming up available to them, of packages available through Tourism Nova Scotia, and reminding them that January, I think 15th or something like that, is their deadline for getting their information in for the doers and dreamers online tourism books. So they've got some interesting things that they're looking at, but it's geared towards experience packages and hoping that gamekeepers will buy in and do package things to draw people in both summer and winter. So.
And you didn't mention that you were chairing the policy committee.
I thought I did mention that at one point. Maybe I didn't, but anyway.
Well,
yeah.
I meant tonight.
Oh.
They,
I just said we
there was
presented.
a thank you at the meeting for her and her committee and the hard work they are doing. So, the next one is the Digby Harbor Port Association.
Haven't met.
Oh, okay. Southwest Biosphere Society, we have not met. The Western Region Crown Land Stakeholders Interaction Committee, Peter.
No.
Okay.
You should probably shorten up the name because the name takes longer to pronounce than maybe.
There is no in camera. So would someone like to adjourn the meeting?
Motion to adjourn.
Is there a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded, motion carried.